What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Coaster Part 3, The Thrill Spot. We're back at it again, continuing on our little journey here and completing the park. Last episode, we made a lot of progress, I would say. We basically finished this entire first area, got all the facilities done, and today we're going to be focusing more on the two rides that are near the entrance. So basically that little, whatever the hell that thing is, like a little spider ride, I guess, and the what is that called, merry-go-round. That's what it is. So yeah, that's the two things that we will be basically detailing today on our little park. And before we get started on anything, guys, I just wanted to say that I know I am not doing too great on the whole schedule thing. I was really sick and I could not talk at all, so it was really hard to record anything. And so because of that, I could not record any videos, and that's why basically there hasn't been anything on the channel since my last one. But that changes today, and we're back at it now that my throat is, functioning properly for the most part. First things first, I told you last episode that we're going to fix this queue, and so I did. Looks a lot better. What you didn't see was about 30 minutes of me fiddling around with this damn path system trying to get this queue to work, all for me to find out 30 minutes later that the only problem was that I had the flattened terrain on. And what does that have to do with freaking paths that are in the air? I have no idea. So it is what it is. Gigantic waste of time, but don't worry, for your sake I went ahead and cut it out the video. But yeah, that's the first thing we're doing on this episode. It's just basically finishing up and detailing this ride back here. Not sure what you would call it. Don't know what it's called in the game. I've definitely ridden one of those before though, and they're pretty, they're fun if you're like 15 or whatever. I don't know if that's an insult. I'm sorry. If you guys are amusement park goers and you're a really big fan of this ride, no offense to you. I've only ridden it like 1 or 2 times in this one little theme park in my city. But yeah, I remember it being it was pretty fun. It was a pretty good time. But man, I have just been itching to play this game again, and I need to get this video done so I can make space to make more recordings for it. So here I am, just ready to get this one going. But yeah, I really wanted to, go ahead and finish this theme park. I've been itching to play. It's been a lot of fun just playing this game again, as I've said previously already. But man, it's just such a good game, and I really want to play the second one, but I've kind of heard some pretty mixed things about it. I think it's not very optimized at the moment. And talking about optimization though, guys, we're not looking too hot right now on this front. At the end of the episode, you'll see that I'm hovering at a solid 30 FPS, probably maybe not even, like 31, 34, and then it goes down into the 20s if I'm like triple speeding it. But that is because I opened the park, but I only put a 500 guest limit, and even with that, it's still chugging along on this laptop. And that's weird because I thought this laptop would be able to handle it a little better. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's kind of strange to me that I can run basically a AAA title, which is like the Far Cry editor, and I can have like 40 to 50 FPS on that at all times, even if I go super heavy on the detailing. But a game like Planet Coaster, it's like I put down a couple of bushes and trees and we're cooked. Like I can't even pass the 30 FPS mark. So that being said, I am a little bit worried for the scale of the park. I think I am a little bit of an overachiever here, and I've kind of planned out a little bit too much. So I'm gonna see on the background when I start my next episode, I start recording the next episode, I'm gonna see if there's a way we can cut down on the size a little bit, which I am super bummed out about. I was really hoping that I would be able to make this entire park, but clearly, it's just, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it. I might be able to do it, just like the recordings are not going to look great because we're missing so many frames in between that the time lapse will just look super choppy, and I think it wouldn't make for good content, at least not the content I'm going for. So with that being said, I will try to figure out some way to maybe cut down on the amount of space that we're going to be taking up with our park. And I'll probably cut down on some of the rides or just push some of them closer together. I don't know, which really sucks though. I'm so bummed out about it. I really like I like this whole like the way the layout of the park is really cool to me. I think it looks like a genuine park. I think it looks great. I think it'll like fit in with like a real life park the way it's laid out. I like the loop kind of aspect to it. But yeah, man, I just need to really get a new computer. I need to get something that actually can run a game or two. Of course, though, that is not going to stop us from getting as far as possible with it. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to detail any less. I mean, I like my things to look good, even if they're not complete. You best believe it, you know, it's kind of like that meme of the horse, like separated into 3 parts. They're all going to be beautiful, even if the last one is kind of like garbage. Even if the last third act isn't complete, best believe the first 2 are beautiful. So next thing we're doing here is putting down a brand new building. I cut out the part where I tried putting one of the preset buildings on there, one of those like Rivera hotels or whatever the hell they're called. I tried putting one in this little corner here, but I don't know, the fact that I've already made all the other buildings kind of makes me just want to make the rest of them. I feel like it adds a personal touch to the park, and I can really decide how big or little I want them. So this time I went with a similar outline to our bathroom building, but I kind of wanted to make this one a little bit more I don't even know how to describe it, more nice, I guess, more official, more demure, if you will. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, something different. Basically, I wanted to separate it from our last one. So I added this like kind of like this balcony with like I'm not even sure what you would call that, like arches coming off of it, and then you got like the wall and the flooring. Got some nice trimming on the walls. Got the arches on the walls too. Overall, I mean, listen, man, I think I kind of swagged with this one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Considering the fact I am not an architect, I think I did pretty good, all things considered. The worst part was definitely the roof. I think the roof could definitely use some more work, but I don't know, man. There's not really a lot of parts in this game that like really fit together, at least on the roof section. So it was a little hard to find ways to incorporate the roof on this, you know, pretty weird layout, I guess. But I mean, listen, we kind of got there in the end. It's not perfect. It's a little off. It's a little weird. But I mean, this is a theme park that only a couple dozen people are going to see in their lifetime. So you know what? I'm not really tripping about it. It is what it is. Not gonna lie though, when I did first start this theme park, I remember in that first episode I did say that I was kind of like intimidated by the fact that I had to build all these buildings. But now that I've kind of learned where all the parts are at, it actually becomes kind of fun, you know? It kind of goes to show that you really do need to get out of your comfort zone sometimes to really, you know, just find something you enjoy. And yeah, I mean, I actually do have fun making these little buildings. It's its own challenge in a way. As you can see, the biggest challenge is trying to get these damn roof trims to go where I want them to go. This is the part I don't like of the building that I might change next episode, is this little like, it's a good idea, but there is literally just there's no like building parts as a pillar that look good. Like these pillars are just way too freaking big and bulky, and I don't know, I don't like how it looks, but maybe it'll grow on me. I'm not too sure yet. But then we go ahead and lay down the thing that kind of saves the building, which is the windows and the doors. Without these, you know, it wouldn't look the best, let's be real, but it kind of saves it. It makes it look a little better. We add a little floor to our porch area, fix the terrain a little bit, add some balconies. You know the drill. I'm not sure what this building is supposed to be. It looks kind of like a hotel, maybe like a, I don't know, guys. It's scenery, okay? There is nothing in there. It's a bunch of drywall and plastic, and that's it. It's just for the vibes, really. And then yeah, we go ahead and just lay this whole park down with nature, which is basically the theme of the entire park. I know I've said that sentence like a million times already, but the theme of this park is nature and Spanish buildings. So, we really go off on that aspect of it. We're really just throwing it all in. But it's just so much fun throwing these little bushes around. It's just nice. I like the fact that there's not too many assets that I could choose from. It kind of makes me just like get creative with the ones that I do have. And yeah, I really wanted to get Planet Zoo as well, because in that game there's like grass, like actual grass you can put down, and that makes me so jealous because I would kill for some grass in this game. I hate the fact that the texture is so like plain on the ground. I wish you can just add some nice sprites in there, but we make do with what we got. We use these little flat bushes as a way to pad out the space in there a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I think this queue looks pretty nice. If I walked into this park and I walked through this queue, I would be pretty pleasantly surprised and pleasantly content. I would stop and smell the flowers, I guess you could say. And then yeah, later on we'll be opening the park finally, which I was really excited to do because a big part of the theme park game is actually running the theme park, which I will not be including in this series. You won't see me going through menus and hiring staff and looking at guest thoughts, but I do really enjoy that aspect of the game. So yeah, I was really excited to finally open it up and let our little peeps in here to see our beautiful park and how it is going. And here we go, painting the house, which gives it that nice little chef's kiss of a touch on top of everything. Makes it really blend in with the environment and the rest of the park. And overall, guys, honestly, pretty happy with how this building turned out. I think it's a good spot for it as well. It looks nice. It fits in perfectly. And we'll just keep on doing this kind of thing until the computer crashes on itself and we got no more power left to run it. So yeah, we'll just keep this little vibe going, and we'll see where it gets us in the end. And then, as you can see, we go ahead and put our second little dining area, which I noticed nobody, and I mean nobody, was using once I opened the park. There's literally not a single person sitting in these. Probably if I increase the guest limit in the park, there'll be more people to be eating, which means more people will finally need somewhere to sit. But I was a little disappointed that nobody was eating in my little cafeteria area, I guess. I worked so hard on it, and I think they look so nice, but it is what it is. You can't control them. You can't control them. They walk in, they eat, they complain, they ride a ride, say it's too expensive, and then leave. And that's just how the people go. And here they are, finally, as you can see, walking around, doing their thing. Our poor janitor there is a little bored. I think I hired a little too many of them for the small park that it is. And yeah, we got our little buddy there in the information stand, waiting for the 5 people to walk in to give them a nice little map of the 2 rides that are in the park right now. So yeah, oh, that guy was really jolly. You saw him? Yeah, man, I love it. People heard about this online. They saw it on Facebook, and they were like, damn, they got 2 whole rides in this park, bro. I gotta go. And yeah, man, we're making progress. People are liking the park. I love the fact that we were finally able to open it and have it function. We got the drinks, we got the food, the restrooms, the rides. Everything was in order. Do not mind the error message on the top left. That is nothing. So yeah, next up, I believe we add a beautiful bridge to bridge the gap over here. And this was because I figured it was kind of dumb that these people had to walk all the way back just for one 2-minute ride. So I went ahead and gave them a little bit of a extra path to take, but of course nobody used it because there's not really any reason to go over there, which is why we went ahead and put this little we put this little merry-go-round a little closer to the entrance, and we'll go ahead and open it up as well, detail it, you know the drill. And I think that after we're finished detailing this in the next episode, I might actually create our first roller coaster, and I think I might put it in and around that little mountain next to our merry-go-round, as I feel like that's a good spot for it. Or I might put it on the other side. I'm not exactly sure yet, but whatever the case is, yeah, we'll probably end up making our first roller coaster. And man, I'm a little nervous, because I'll be honest, I'm not too great at building those, as I said previously. So hopefully I can make one that actually looks good and is fun for the whole family. I know that a big, part of Planet Coaster is the coaster, but I don't know, they're so intimidating to me. So we'll see how I fare. And besides that, I think that's pretty much all I do for the rest of the episode, is just go ahead and detail this area and yada yada. But before I go, I did want to just go ahead and update y'all on a little bit of what the channel is going through right now. I know I said I was sick and stuff, and that's definitely part of the reason. But another big thing I want to do is just kind of like give myself a little bit of a break. And I mean that in the least pretentious way possible, because obviously all I'm doing is playing a game. But a part of me started this because I find playing these games a lot of fun, and I like detailing, and I like the whole level design thing, and I want to keep doing that, obviously, but I just don't want it to feel like I'm forced to. So I know I said I'll be posting every Thursday, and that is still my goal. I do want to keep posting every Thursday, but of course sometimes I'm not going to be motivated or creatively inspired enough to go in and make something that looks nice, and I don't want to basically force myself to make content that I'm not really enjoying. So with that being said, obviously this channel has not grown a whole lot or anything like that, so I'm not really bugging anybody, but this is just for future reference, basically, if anybody's interested in keeping up with the channel, that some Thursdays I might miss some Thursdays, but the Thursday is the day that you can pop in there and be like, hey, I wonder if you uploaded this Thursday. And it will be most Thursdays. Don't get me wrong. The goal is definitely to keep being consistent, because it feels good to be consistent, obviously. But sometimes I'm just not really in a creative mood, and that's why on the last episode of our speed build for the map, we didn't make a whole lot of progress or anything, and a lot of it was done off camera, because I literally, I lost that recording, and it kind of threw off my whole momentum for it. So because of that episode was kind of boring in a way. I didn't really detail anything, to be honest, and I just don't want that to happen again. So yeah, that being said, hopefully next Thursday there's another video coming out. I am definitely feeling inspired now. I really want to keep playing this Planet Coaster, and I do want to finish that map. God, I want to finish that map. You guys have no idea. So don't worry, there is not going to be any delays from here on out. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really look forward to making the next one for y'all. And yeah. And before I forget, don't forget to subscribe.